I have a couple of tag style videos that I have been asked to do. And so I thought that I would do a double up today. And so I am going to do the Nook Tube Challenge, and I am going to do the Rootin, Tootin, June on the Range tag. So here we go. All right, so a couple weeks ago, Aaron from Aaron Facer had decided to show us kind of his little reading area that he has been building up. And he asked a few of us to show you our little reading nook areas. And so that's what I'm doing today. And so I'm just gonna flip the camera around. I live in a very small apartment. It's 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom, kitchen, living room, great room area is all one room. So not a lot of space that I have for this, but here, let me show you. All right, so here you go, guys. This is my little reading nook area. I have this lamp. It's very soft light, but we have lots of windows along here, and so I have plenty of light most of the time. I'm not sitting here like late at night, but this is the rocker my mom used to rock my brother and I in, and I love it, but it doesn't go with anything else in my house. So it sits over here in the corner with its cozy pillows, and I keep the blankie there. And this down here is my little basket of books that I am currently reading. And I sit here, and I often put my cup on the windowsill. So some of you will probably recognize the shelves because I have 2 of them. And they are just these 5. I could put more up on top, but they're filled with pictures of family and plants. Got lots of plants up there too. But this is also the spot where I usually sit to record my videos. And I will take the stand and just move the chair a little bit and then sit right there to record videos. And Poppy loves to curl up on that rug right next to me a lot of times when I am reading. So there you go. Little windowsill cup mug holder and little rocking chair. Anyway, there you go. That's my little nook area. That's where I sit. All right, here we go with Rootin, Tootin, June on the Range. So this tag was created by Steve Donahue, and I was tagged by Becca over at Read Becca. So thank you, Becca, for tagging me, and put on my jean jacket to look a little more official for this tag. I was raised on a ranch, so my answers are probably never going to be no for this. And I'm going to try to, I used to be a professional photographer, and I'm going to put lots of pictures in here so you can see kind of where I grew up, what our ranch kind of looked like. Sorry about the outside noise. I don't live out in the middle of the country anymore. And that is it for my intro, I think. Let's get going. So I've got the prompts over here. So the first prompt is, a ways out west, have you ever been to the American West? And the answer is yes. I was born in Idaho State, and I have always had grandparents in Eastern Washington that have had cattle. and hobby farms and all of that kind of thing. So yes, I have been to the American West. Dry Gulch. What's the smallest town you've ever visited, and how small is the town that you're in right now? Okay, smallest town that I have ever visited that had people living in it was population 1. There is a little itty bitty wide spot in the road called Winchester. The only thing that is in the whole town is a like little American style drive-in type thing. We used to stop there to get soft serve ice cream cones. My grandparents would always stop and we would get soft serve ice cream cones. But it literally is population 1, or it was when I was a kid. I don't know what it is now, but that would be the smallest town that I've ever been to, unless you include ghost towns, because I've been to quite a few ghost towns, and they don't have anybody living in them unless you include the ghosts, and I don't know how many of those there are. Number 3 is where the buffalo roam. Have you ever seen an American bison in person? And the answer is yes. There was once when we lived in Montana that we were driving across several states to go to a college like rush week kind of thing, and I was taking my daughter to go to that, and we pulled into a rest stop in one of the states, and there were buffalo just laying out in the grassy area of the of the rest area. And buffalo are ginormous, and you do not want to get close to them. They are wild animals. Like I said, we used to live in Montana. It seems like whenever I see buffalo, they're molting, and it's not a very pretty sight. And so I will put pictures up, but just be warned. It's also asking what the largest hoofed animal you've ever seen, and do you have evidence that you live near coyotes? I'll see if I can find the pictures of coyotes that I have, but I still think that the bison is probably the largest animal that I've ever seen. But we had bobcats, we had bears, lots of cattle, lots of horses, lots of goats and pigs. Bison is probably still the largest hoofed animal I've ever seen, unless you include the ones at the zoo. Yeah, we'll just go with that. Old Doc Frye, number 4. What's your history with Westerns, novels, movies? So, like I said, grew up on a ranch, and so I have firsthand experience with being a, having to herd cattle, being a cowhand. I got to make my own saddle one time. My grandfather used to do it. So in order to teach me how, he had me basically do what he was doing while he was doing it so that he could keep an eye on me and teach me how. So I got to do that. Yeah. My grandfather was also a reader of Zane Grey, which I think I like out of all of the Westerns that I have ever read, which isn't that many. I like him. And then G.A. Henty has a few Western novels as well, and Western American novels. And I really liked his also. I really like both of those authors. And let's see, I watched Paladin when I was growing up. I never watched Gunsmoke or
what's the other one? Ponderosa, or is it Big Valley? I don't remember. I never watched any of those really. Little House on the Prairie. Watched a lot of the Lone Ranger, the black and white Lone Ranger. Hopalong Cassidy, quite a bit of. Movie-wise, The Three Amigos. It's kind of a Western. It's probably my favorite Western, in fact. All right, number 5, Diamond Lil at the Rialto Saloon. What is your relationship with alcohol, and have you ever had a friendship with a bartender? So, I used to drink wine. I grew up never having any family at all that drank. And now I actually have allergic reactions to it. It's usually skin reaction, and it's almost immediate. It's like overnight it develops, and I can't do it. So I don't have alcohol ever, really. Once in a while, one of the kombuchas that I will have will be like a 2%, 3% alcohol in it, and I'm okay with those, but that's about as alcoholic as I get. But my kids are excellent bartenders. Both my youngest daughter and her husband and my son all love to try out new styles of mixed cocktail drinks. My friendships with bartenders go as far as my family, and that's about it. Number 6 is The City Slicker from back east. What do you consider the best Western you've ever read? Oh, I thought that I already answered this. Oh, the best Western that I have ever read. It would have to be a Zane Grey. And I couldn't tell you which one. I know what it's about. I'll have to look it up. Maybe I'll put it on the screen. I'll put it on the screen after I look it up. Number 7, The Man with the Badge. Have you ever been in charge of other people? And what's the most authority you've ever handled? And would you be good at it? So I hate being in charge. I can't stand it. I don't like being in charge of people. I don't want the buck to stop with me. I want to have a clear outline of what I am supposed to do. I want to do what is outlined for me, exactly how it's outlined for me. And I don't want to be the one getting in trouble if I'm doing it the way that I was told to do it. So I am not a leader in that way. I think that the most authority I've ever had is being a mom, and I don't know how good at it I was, but I love my kids. They love me. They love each other. They're all family oriented. So I hope and pray that I did something right there. But that's it. That's the most authority that I would ever want. Number 8, the Tombstone Kid. Have you ever fired a gun, been a gun aficionado, or been shot? So, have I ever held a gun? Yes. I have held a gun. Have I ever fired a gun? Yes. I don't like firing a gun. I don't want to fire a gun. I do not like guns. But my grandpa had quite a few rifles and I think one pistol, maybe a revolver, when I was growing up. So I didn't have to be around them really too much. He basically used his rifle and his shotguns when he was out hunting. So I've never been shot. I have never even come close to being shot. Oh, skeet shooting. I guess I've done some skeet. So, number 9, it ain't the bullet that gets you, it's the fall. How would you ideally like to cash in your chips? So, I think that the main thing is that I don't want it prolonged. I don't want to suffer, and I don't want the people around me to suffer. So I want to stay just long enough to be able to say goodbye in a coherent way, and I want to go out surrounded by my family. That's it. That would be ideal. There's a verse in the Bible that talks about Jacob, that when he had spoken the last of the blessings over his sons, that he gathered himself up and breathed his last. And I think that's what I would like. I would like to be able to speak a blessing over my family and gather myself up and breathe my last. So there you go. And as far as tags go, it says number 10, tag some owl hoots. I don't know who to tag. I know that quite a few people have done this tag. Okay, that is it for me today, you guys. I hope you enjoy the photos. I hope you enjoyed the tags. And go ahead and go over and watch the other people that have been doing this. It's a lot of fun. You find out a lot about people. This is a very chatty tag. I like it. So anyway, I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you in the next video very soon. Bye, everyone.